Right, moving on. Which is worse, mild peril or moderate torture?
Well, torture sounds worse. So
Yeah. Doesn't sound good,
I'm
does
going
it?
to say that.
But I imagine the other way on, because people are often more frightened of things that haven't happened yet.
Yeah. So the British Board of Film Classification, which used to be the British Board of Film Censors,
Yes.
it not only awards films a certificate, but since 1997 it's provided a brief line of consumer advice of what to expect from the picture.
My favourite one is when
Yes.
it says, this film contains language.
OK.
That's right.
Yeah. They used to have certain stock phrases, mild peril and moderate torture.
I remember that. I used to work at Odeon Cinema. Well, before they were Odeon, UCI Cinemas on the phones. And when that came in, we had to read it out. So you would say, OK, you've booked 4 tickets for Hellpeimer Fish. And please be aware that this film contains mild peril. And you would have to say, like, you've booked 5 tickets for Harry Potter. Please be aware this film contains fantasy spiders.
Yeah.
I prefer the old system. Remember, it was U, A, double A and X.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
What was wrong with that? It worked.
That was fine, wasn't it? We all knew what it meant. X was... I mean, I missed the X, don't you?
Yeah, something to aim for.
X was very scary or very sexy.
Oh.
So now if I get to the letter X in the alphabet, just looking at an alphabet, I get aroused. The X Factor, I can't watch it because I'm... Wow!
So let's have a quick look at some advice. So you did tell us one already, contains mild language and horror and fantasy spiders,
yeah.
is indeed Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Let's see if you can guess what these other ones are. Contains strong language, violence and sex, all involving puppets.
This is... 5 minutes ago.
Is it Team America?
It is Team America.
yeah, of course.
Absolutely right.
Love to.
Contains irresponsible behaviour.
Mr. Bean.
Yes, Mr. Bean's holiday. Absolutely right.
Are you serious? I've been waiting for this moment on cue.
How about this one? Dangerous behaviour, mild threat, innuendo, infrequent, mild, bad language.
QI.
Austin Powers?
No.
Is it something that is quite tame?
Yes, darling.
Is it Pingu?
It's Paddington.
Yeah.
What's the bad language in Paddington?
I have no...
Oh, actually, there was one bit where he said, where's my marmalade sandwich, you
word in the English language.
Who is the coolest, grooviest, hippest cat on the show tonight?
David Tennant, I would have thought.
Yeah.
I'm going for Belton.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. What do we know about these words?
They're jazz words.
Many of them are jazz words. And how old are they?
Since the 20s, 30s?
Early...
40s?
No, earlier. Stone Age.
Let's take the word cool. When did it first mean, like, fashionable, do you think?
60s beatnik poet era.
Hitler.
Oddly enough, it was the year Hitler came to power, 1933, but I don't think that's quite relevant.
These new uniforms are cool.
1933. Bizarrely.
So this is Christmas.
I'm Jerry's in Nazi Party. They're cool, Daddy.
Cool, Daddy-o.
Bizarrely, it was 1933.
Besides, I have no choice.
Yeah.
I burned down the Reichstag. Cool. Jazz Nazis, eh?
It was the West Coast School of... But it was the West Coast...
Jazz Nazis are used both ways.
It was the West Coast School of Relaxed Jazz led by Miles Davis. And his album, The Birth of the Cool, was 1957, which, oddly enough, is the year I was born.
Extraordinary.
So maybe I am cool.
Cool.
I love
Groovy.
that if you saying all that as a chat-up line in a nightclub. Yeah. Do you know who the coolest person in the room is tonight? No, let me explain. 1933. Cut to 2 hours later,
so cool.
and that, madam, is why I am cool. Can I get to another move?
Where's she gone?
Don't go.
Most volcanic country on Earth. Oh, yes.
Okay, New Zealand.
No, it is not New Zealand. Yes.
Is it? Another place other than New Zealand. Paul. Indonesia.
No.
It's weird, that, because I thought it was such a stupid answer, but the fact that it was considered an obvious answer, I see as a bit of a result. It's like when you're watching University Challenge and you say the answer, but it's wrong, but they say the same wrong answer. You go, that's the point.
New Zealand's not even on my list.
Ha ha! Mine was.
Yeah.
It was on the big board.
What about Hawaii?
Well, you're absolutely in the right area because it's the United States. The United States has more volcanoes than any other country in the world. It's got 173 volcanoes in total.
Are you counting it by volcano numbers or by lava emitted?
OK, so it's...
This is my profile on Match.com.
If you were doing most active volcanoes, then Indonesia would be the correct answer.
That's what I thought you meant! I've just given myself 2 points!
Yeah, maybe turn the fingers round.
I've just given myself 2 points!
It's United States first, then Russia, then Indonesia, then Japan. Those are the ones with the most volcanoes.
Russia's taking part, actually.
But in terms of active, it's Indonesia, then the Philippines, and then Japan. I mean, there are areas where there's just a huge number of volcanoes. So the Pacific Ring of Fire has got 452 volcanoes. It runs all the way around the Pacific. Place in the world with the densest region of volcanoes.
The most amount of volcanoes?
Yes, the densest. Where might you find that? Yes!
Indonesia!
No! Antarctica.
Antarctica.
But it's so cold.
Well, yes, so this is the issue about it. So in 2017, 91 new volcanoes were found under the ice sheet of Western Antarctica. It now has one volcano every 4,800 square miles, and they're expecting to find lots more. Some of them are as tall as the Eiger. And they were all discovered by researchers at Edinburgh University, and it really, really matters because it has implications for the rest of the planet. If one of them erupts, it could melt the ice from beneath.
Goodbye, Norfolk.
Yeah, basically.
Let's cancel it then. I feel like we were like, let's do that.
No, let's not.
Let's not do it.
It's not a good idea. The most volcanic country on Earth is actually the United States.
Why won't this woman stop staring at you?
Well, she's...
Oi!
She's only human. Well, she's got her needs like anyone.
Are we being suggested to say because their eyes are following you around?
Yeah, they do. No, they
room.
actually... I mean, not they don't literally follow you around the room, but that experience is wherever you are in relation to that painting, she is looking at you.
What if you're behind her? Behind the painting? That only works on paintings of owls, surely.
There are other paintings. What's the most famous painting in the Wallace collection in London?
You know you're looking at the wrong person, don't you?
Yes. Certainly.
Lee, you sometimes your eyes are following me around the room.
Certainly.
I honestly thought someone was stood behind me then.
It's the... I think I might know this.
Yes, Jimmy?
Is it the Cavalier? Is it the Cavalier?
Yeah, the Laughing Cavalier.
The Laughing Cavalier.
My friend's house.
Yeah.
Very good. That has the same quality as well. I mean, it's true of a lot of portraits.
Well, surely it's true of any painting where the person is looking at the artist. It's not unique to that painting, is it?
No, it isn't. No.
Any painting where the subject is looking towards the camera,
straight out is the point. The strange thing is, if you have a painting where someone's looking down, even if you get down to where the eye level is, it will never look at you.
You would look mad in an art gallery doing that. Look, he's looking at me!
Look at me, look at me!
Stand up,
But it doesn't look at you, that's the thing. You only look at you when they're looking straight out like
Well,
that.
this
It's
is
not like
because...
that in Scooby-Doo, though. Scooby-Doo, right. There's
Yeah.
always somebody behind the painting, isn't there? And they really
that's
are.
true. And the eyes
They really are
moving.
following you
In
around.
those horror films, yeah exactly.
It's like, if you were to look at me now,
Yes.
and I walked over there, and you carried on fixing your gaze forward, you wouldn't be looking at me. So you would think it would possibly be true of the painting. But you're not looking at the eyes of the painting, you're looking through the eyes of the artist. So wherever you stand, you're looking through the eyes of the artist, not through your own eyes.
Except
Good night.
That's rather beautifully put.
Except that Stephen has three-dimensional and the painting is two-dimensional.
Yes,
so
the
that
painting-
doesn't work.
exactly.
Yeah.
But because I'm looking at you through my eyes, so if I walk over there, I'm still looking at you through my eyes, so it doesn't work. But I'm not looking at his eyes, the subject's eyes, am I? I'm looking through the artist's eyes, and they stay fixed at all times.
Sorry, can I just ask you...
So it's like bending light. It's like having a telescope that bends round, and you're doing that looking through the artist's
Do you know
eyes.
what? In a really nice way, Lee, I'm going to say I don't think you've fully understood it.
Have you changed the word nice to patronising?
Well, I mean...
And you're very kind with the word fully, because I don't think I understood any of it, did I?
What's the difference between an eye and an eye? Have you heard of an eye? It's a very useful word in Scrabble. A-I.
It's yes. Oh, yes, that's a yes, a sloth.
A sloth, exactly. But what about an eye?
2 sloths.
All right, so we've got the eye. Where does the eye live, this sloth? Where does it live?
In a tree.
Yeah, in which part of the world would you expect to find it?
South America.
South America is the right answer. They're wonderful things. They look like humans dressed in a sloth costume, as a matter of fact. They're really...
Yeah, but to be fair, you can say that about any animal, couldn't you?
No, but
a giraffe looks like a human dressed in a giraffe costume.
You look at a picture... you look at a picture of an eye, and I think you'll see what I mean. That does look like a person in a costume.
It looks like he's climbing up a tree, which looks like a man dressed as a tree.
He also looks like he's made of that stuff they used to make dish mops out of, doesn't he?
The heads are very disproportionate, aren't they?
They are, and they live up to their name. They're very lazy. They spend most of their time up. They only come down to defecate, in fact.
Sorry, they come down from a tree to defecate?
Yes.
Surely the whole benefit of living in a tree is you can just
poo on whomever you like.
Maybe they've got a downstairs toilet.
Yes.
I thought that,
No.
Once you've had it put in, you want to use it, don't you?
Absolutely.
Also, very unusually for mammals, they need to bask in the sun to warm up their metabolism. So that's the eye. We've got the eye, but tell me about the eye.
Is the I spelt the same as the I? Well,
No.
Obviously, there's more letters.
It's
I know the
A-Y-E-A-Y-E.
That's just
And I happen to have been and seen one. Very few people on Earth have, because it's one of the most endangered species.
Is it a Geordie version of that?
No, that's the Y-eye.
Are we in the same part of the world?
We're not in the same part of the world.
Is it a sloth?
An eye. It's not a sloth. It's more closely related to us. It's a primate.
primate.
But it's not an ape or a monkey. So what other kinds of...
Is it the
primate are they that aren't...
Lemur?
Lemur. It's a lemur. Therefore, it must come from only one place on Earth.
Oh!
Bradford. It looks like someone's put some water on a gremlin.
Yeah. That's exactly right, which you know you mustn't do.
Never do that, ever.
I would think that the animal on the left has an easier job getting a well-fitting hat.
and a girlfriend.
Yes.
That may be why the eye is so endangered.
It's Madagascar.
Madagascar is the only place you get lemurs. You can't actually see in that photograph, but they have the most extraordinary middle finger, which is fully extended. It looks like a dried twig. It's really unusual. They tap with their finger on the barks of trees and bring out little worms and grubs, which they catch and eat off their fingers. It's like a piece of cutlery.
So nature has designed them to eat hula hoops?
Basically.
That's extraordinary.
Yes, a zoologist would say they fill the niche that woodpeckers fill in other environments.
But there are superstitions, are there not, about them, that if you pardon me if I did this to you, or did this, and if one of those did that to you, that would be...
That's right. It's called the fada, which is the Malgache taboo system of the local people, and unfortunately they regard them, because they're nocturnal creatures, and because they look so weird, I suppose, they regard them as a curse, and they have a habit of killing them if they see them.
It does look like a really bad hair transplant, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, I'm not surprised people kill them, as well. The idea that, I mean, never mind superstition, but if you walk across the street doing that, you're going to get... people are going to go, well, I could take him on.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not surprised they're endangered, because they're clearly not mating, are they? They're looking at each other and going, I'd rather not. I might nip over to get the eye.
It is dark, remember?
All the ugly ones come out in the dark.
They do.
That's how Jimmy mates. I'm happy to do it, love, but it's going to have to be with the lights off.
Can't believe your wife told you that story. I only read that in a northern accent.
It's like watching two 1970 northern comics having a row. Well, because your wife said, yeah, well, your wife doesn't exist. You what?
They do that on the streets of New York with Your Mama, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a whole series.
They do what with my mama? Why don't you say one's mama?
One's mama.
Yeah.
In fact.
And love you to do that in the streets of New York.
One's
Stephen.
mama?
Oh, one's mama to you.
Yes. That is a jolly old show.
Now then, this is more perilous than it sounds. What's a duck worth?
6 bob a week. Oh, sorry, ask me again and say, what's a Greek urn?
Duckworth Lewis. That's all I know.
Well, you're absolutely heading in the right direction.
That's how they work out through a system that nobody understands, even the people on the cricket coverage, you have to explain it. Where if it's rain, they set you a new target to win the match based on the run rate or the overs left or something. No one knows how they do it.
Yeah, and it's now called the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method. And basically what they do is that they look at the number of runs required and they divide it by the number of balls left. But it does also include certain variables like how many wickets you've got in hand.
Fascinating. Wow. The more you hear about cricket, the more interesting it gets.
I like cricket.
So did I till about a minute ago.
I didn't understand a game where both sides wear the same colour.
Yeah.
Make any sense
And doesn't
to
it
me.
never end, cricket? It just takes as long as it takes.
5 days, and when it's finished, you go, is that it? You go, no, it's best of 5.
Oh.
What? It's 25 days long, this game. Oh, at least someone's going to win. Not necessarily. It could be a draw.
I went once, and the only thing I learnt that it is possible to have too much Pims. I did not know that.
No, you were at tennis. That's how much Pims you had.
Perfectly possible. So there's also a thing called the Duckworth scale. It uses known statistics to assign a risk of dying as a result of any given activity. So at the low end, so you've got 0, that represents living on Earth unharmed for an entire year. The top figure, 8, is certain doom. Anybody think of something at 8, certain doom? Absolutely going to die.
Saturday night, Glasgow Jonglers. That is a death for anyone. Absolutely.
Russian roulette with 6 bullets. The risk of dying if you play Russian roulette with 6 bullets is absolutely an 8. Being hit by an asteroid on the Duckworth scale is 1.6. It's unlikely, but deadly if it does.
But you're not saying 1.6%. It's just a 1.6 on the scale
like
of
the
1
Richter scale.
Yes.
Apparently, doing the washing up, 5.5.
Why?
Well, not very dangerous, it just happens a lot, so
Right.
that increases your chance. People do a lot of washing up.
Doing the washing up wrong, 6.6.
What, so people tend to die while they're doing the washing up, or like...
Yeah, and then...
But on that theory, we could say breathing, then. Breathing should be an 8, because when you're doing something, when you're breathing, you die, don't you? All the time.
Yeah.
He broke the Duckworth scale.
You need an activity, darling, and breathing is an involuntary activity. It's not a...
Oh, it
it's
has to be a
something-
choice.
It has to be a voluntary activity, something that you're choosing to do, so like rock climbing, for example.
Or heavy breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you probably can die from, I would imagine.
Not breathing, that's a choice. That kills you.
Yeah.
A 35-year-old male who smokes 40 cigarettes a day, he would be at 7.1 on the scale. It's almost as dangerous as playing Russian roulette with a single bullet, which is at 7.2. But it's exactly like the Richter scale. It is logarithmic, so the Russian roulette is actually 10 times more dangerous.
Yeah. What is it up to? Up to
8.
Oh,
so
only
0
to 8.
to 8.
Oh, whoa, so that's really high.
Yeah. OK, now you know how to measure your peril. What's the most perilous thing you ever taught yourself to do?
Breathe.
What's the most perilous job in the world?
Parachute tester.
It is a real and obviously perilous job.
Hang on, is this the actual answer?
No, it isn't the actual answer. By chance, you stumbled upon something that I actually knew, which I was rather pleased about. But there's a worse job than a parachute tester.
Parachutist catcher.
Again, nearly right.
Really?
So nearly right. It's a reverse parachute tester. So, during the Cold War, both sides had spy bases in the Arctic. Aircraft couldn't land anywhere, so staff had to be parachuted in, but they also had to be parachuted out again.
Oh, that must hurt.
Yeah. So they used a thing called a sky hook or an aero retriever. It's a device for parachuting upwards. And what they did was they got a helium balloon and it carried a rope up into the air. The aeroplane grabbed the rope and reeled it in with the spy on the end. But, OK, let's have a quick look at this procedure in action. There's the guy on the ground.
Oh, goodness.
Waving cheerfully.
He's saying...
Wow! Yeah.
Shitty death!
That's how they board you on EasyJet.
Human fishing.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Fishing, I like that.
So lots of perilous jobs, things with heavy machinery, working at sea. Probably the most perilous specific job is being President of the United States. You have an 8 in 44 chance of dying in office. It's roughly, the fatality rate, 27 times that of a lumberjack.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, luckily, the present one's really likeable.
Yes. Test piloting a fighter jet, that's another extremely perilous job.
yeah.
There's an extraordinary story. In 1956, just off the coast of New York State, there was a fighter test pilot called Tom Attridge, and he accidentally shot himself down. So what he did was he did a burst of his cannons and then he accelerated downwards, and shortly afterwards his windscreen shattered and the engine failed, and he assumed that it had been bird strikes. In fact, he'd flown into his own stream of 20mm cannon rounds. Wow. So although the bullets had had a head start, the air resistance had slowed them down, he'd accelerated and caught them up.
Oh, like an episode of Mr. Bean.
I know. The good news is the plane crashed, but he survived.
Oh, good, yeah.
Other dangerous job in terms of sport?
Motorsport.
Motorsports, yeah, absolutely
Motorcycling.
right. Formula One.
No. I have to disagree with you there. The most dangerous sport is fishing. It causes more fatalities than any other sport.
To fish, certainly.
To the people that drown, there's more people killed fishing than any other sport. And if you don't believe me, just trust me.
Trust you?
Perhaps
the legendary liar from Would I Lie to You?
More people are killed fishing than any other sport. But perhaps I mean percentage-wise of how many people do it. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you. Formula One, not so dangerous now, but in the 1970s, you had a 0.35% chance of dying each time you competed in the Grand Prix, and a driver who competed in every race for 5 years had a nearly 20% risk of dying on the job.
I've got some horror stories about fishermen, but carry on. Billy Park's milkman Accrington drowned. Back to you.
Is it that they're pulled in by a particularly large salmon? Is that what happened?
It's a big fish, and then it's like that clip of the man being parachuted up.
Yeah.
It's a big one!
I absolutely love reading the data of these things. So 2015, the Health and Safety Executive data shows the most accident-prone occupation in the UK is hairdresser. I know! Really? Hairdresser.
I thought window cleaner or something.
Beautician. No. Most likely to cut or burn yourself or trip over something.
That guy, yeah, but...
This guy on the right is a Pakistani hairdresser who apparently doesn't use scissors.
No.
And the guy on the left who's waiting's not keen.
He burns it and then he puts it out with a hairdryer.
Just singes it off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to see this fella fishing.
Who has shooting stars coming out of their bottom?
Are you...
What?
Oh, this is a question. I thought you'd...
It's a philosophical question.
I thought you would be very middle class and you wanted to know who's farted.
Yes, I say. Who's got shooting stars coming out of their bottom? What do you call it in your family with the children? Like, my family call it trumping.
We say pumps.
Pumps.
I'm old school. I say fart, but, they like to say bottom burp. Who's bottom burped? And I go, not me, I farted. And we've got a dog now, and you know how smelly their farts can be. And you can't call that a bottom burp. It's too nice and delicate a word, isn't it? Yeah. What they do.
No, we call it attempted murder.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Shooting stars out of the bottom. We're up in space.
We're up in space, shooting stars out the backside. Is it what methane does when it reacts with vacuum?
Wow, it's very scientific.
What happened to that brand?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
What, is it a fat bloke who's eating too many Silver Star biscuits?
Much better, Lee. Very.
Use that one.
So, the International Space Station has had a lavatory upgrade. Here it is.
Look at that.
It's called the Universal Waste Management System, and it cost $23 million.
What, that cost $23 million?
Yeah. So
For one?
Yeah, for one, yeah. So everybody has to share up on the International Space Station. Here's the thing. This particular toilet has the ability to sort faecal bits from the rest of the waste to allow the liquid to be recycled
23 million?
Wait.
You can buy a sieve for £4.99.
Well...
What are they recycling it as? No, don't you dare.
They're recycling the liquid as...
Lucozade.
No.
Water.
Drinking water.
Drinking
water.
For them on the spaceship? Oh, come on.
No, for the royal family.
That's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, but the good news is, if you're a woman and you want to go into space, there is an improvement for women astronauts. There's now a funnel, especially designed for women, and there are sort of, how can I put this, there's like ridges to help women position themselves. But we still haven't found a truly unisex lavatory that works for everybody.
Holding their personal toilets?
They're all, yes.
Where are the ridges? On the inside of the...
So the women have to, yes, position their bottom exactly right.
Where are the ridges?
So there is a serious issue, OK? The old toilet did not allow astronauts to urinate and defecate at the same time, and that is more difficult for women to control. It's just a thing.
Should we just do a quick sort of straw poll? Is it difficult for you not to defecate when you've had a piss?
Sorry, can I just check, Joe? Have you been speed dating before? Can I just check? Do you find it difficult to defecate and piss at the same time?
Can I just say...
You're in. Come on, get your coat, you punk.
So excited about being on this date. I told my mum and dad, they said, oh, you're on with Jo Brand, let me know what she's like. I'm going to tell her. You'll never guess what she asked me, Mum.
If women defecate, they nearly always urinate at the same time.
I'm 52. I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah.
Never crops up, though, does it, really?
It does when I'm speed dating, obviously. But that's how I met my husband. Anyway...
what they have now is they have, like, a training potty on the ground, which has got a camera in it to teach you how to position yourself. And so what they have is a vacuum cleaner-like contraption to suck away the urine, and then a hole with a bag for the faeces, OK?
Surely just a cork would do it,
that would certainly sort it out. But there was a problem. It was a really big problem in the early days. They used to have to put some germ-killing liquid in the bag, so the bag with the faeces, and then they had to knead it for a few minutes.
They themselves?
Yes, so it could be stabilised, and then it was stowed away for re-entry.
Re-entry? Wow! Surely they could just put it in the bin.
So, when the toilet container is full of sealed poo bags, it jettisons them into space, and they eventually burn up in the Earth's atmosphere and become shooting stars.
Well, that's not going to be quite as romantic now we see them, is it?
Now, let's look at some naked apes. What did the Neanderthal take with him when he went clubbing?
Are you meaning a club to club things with? Over the years, I thought I'd get better at this.
We've all been hoping, Alan.
Given that Alan got a klaxon for saying clubs, I'm guessing he didn't use clubs.
Very good.
Yes.
No, he or she did not
That's how to do it.
They lived above the tree line. They lived in a desert. There weren't any trees. Otherwise, you'd use a branch.
No, but they had spears and arrows, which had presumably got wooden shafts.
They couldn't get near enough to club anything. It was too dangerous.
For all we know, they didn't have clubs. I mean, the main thing about it is that we've never, ever seen anything shaped remotely like a club. No artefact anywhere.
I base all my knowledge of Neanderthal men from the wacky races. I base that.
The Flintstones, obviously, which is incredibly accurate. All those people living with the dinosaurs.
Running in the cars.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, we've got wacky racists, we've got Flintstones, and you've got Captain Caveman, so that's 3 separate bits of evidence that suggest they did have clubs. Unless they're all making it up.
Yeah.
So they didn't take clubs, but they took cameras?
Yes. That's one of the earliest photographs.
That's incredible. They couldn't say cheese then, because they didn't have cheese.
Cheese?
For the photograph.
Oh, I see.
You know what they said?
Bison's quite good. Bison.
To be fair, you are just saying bison and then smiling, aren't you? Bison.
Yeah.
You could say anything, couldn't you? Stick a rock.
But we've never, ever... There's never been a painting, there's never been an artefact. I mean, to be fair, most wooden artefacts will rot. So you get paintings of spears and you get spear heads that you find, but you don't actually get the wooden...
You don't get the wooden pole, right? So they might have had clubs that have rotted away. I understand that you don't want to go too near an animal with a club, but if you're fighting neighbouring tribes...
Probably you would just pick up a stick.
But a stick is a club.
Well, it's not shaped like a club, that's the point.
When is a club a stick?
Yeah.
When you cover it in chocolate.